G'day again, Year 7s, and this is my third video in a row actually. I've done these guys really quickly, one after the other. Anyway, let's get straight into it. You're not interested in what I'm doing during my long weekend, which is working. Anyway, alright, let's get into it. Multiplying and dividing expressions. Here we are looking at exercise 5E. Okay, so 5E, we're ripping through these guys again. Alright, anyway, to multiply a number by a variable. So a number by a variable, again our variables are our letters, our pronumerals. We have already seen we can write them next to each other, okay, without the multiplication sign. So 3b for example, okay, don't need a multiplication sign. Alright, so for example 7a means 7 times a, alright, so this would be 3 times b, and we've gone through this stuff. And 5abc means 5 times a times b times c. The order in which the numbers of variables are multiplied is unimportant. All right, so you can write them. You can write these guys anyway. You're going to get up the same answer, okay, every time. So 5 times a times b times c can be written like this, or it can be written like that. Okay, it doesn't matter. The order does not matter. But when we actually write them, we always, as usual, like I said, we write the number first, the coefficient, then we write the letters in alphabetical order. When writing a product without the multiplication signs, the numbers are written first and the letters go in alphabetical order. I know that's not written there, but I'll just put that in for you, just as a reminder. So letters go in alphabetical order. Order, not order, order. Okay, we write 7xy over 3xz as shorthand for, and that actually means, remember, this little sign in here is a division sign, the vernaculum. We've done that in fractions, means that divided by that. So 7xy divided by 3xz. So that could be written the same as this, 7xy divided by 3xz. Okay, that's another way that it could look. Now, when we've simplified, and we've done this in fractions, we simplify a fraction like this by looking for what? What do we look for when we simplify a fraction? This was our last unit. Hopefully you're yelling out to me, yes, we know Mr. O'Donnell is the highest common factor. So the highest common factor of 10 and 15 is, in this case, 5. All right, so 5 goes into 10 two times. Okay, so it divides into there twice, and 5 goes into 15 three times. Okay, which gives us our 3. Don't worry about what they've done here. I'm not going to go into that. That's probably going to confuse you a little bit. Just keep doing it the way that we have been doing it so far. Okay, so divide, whoops, let's write that again. That was bad. So dividing the 10 by a highest common factor of 5, and oops, can you write? No, because I'm pushing that button down. Okay, now we've got it. And divide the 15 by 5. Whatever you divide the top, you divide the bottom. 10 divided by 5 gives you 2, 15 divided by 5 gives you 3. Okay, so when we have fractions like this, okay, we can do the same thing. We can cancel out things that are the same. Okay, so for example, what's the same, without looking over here, what's the same in the 7 and the x and the y and the z? Okay, obviously we've got two x's there, so they can actually be cancelled out. We can cancel them out. All right, and then we write what's left. So we've got on the top 7y, and we've got on the bottom 3z. Okay, so that is not difficult. That's not, again, it's not a difficult concept. Just if you see letters when they're being divided like this, you can just cancel out the letters that are exactly the same. Okay, we're not talking about like terms here because we're multiplying and dividing. So the like terms doesn't really apply to the multiplying and dividing. It's a different process again. Okay, so we can't divide this 3 into the 7. That doesn't go. Not as a whole number anyway. We end up with a fraction or a decimal. All right, we don't need to do that. So in algebra, all we do is we cancel then out. If we can't simplify the numbers, we then simplify the letters, and we just cancel letters out that are exactly the same, just like we've done here, and they're gone. Okay, so a few notes. A times b is written as AB. A divided b is written like a fraction. A over b. A divided by b. A divided by b. Okay, the order in which values are multiplied only, divided is very different. You can't put the b on top here. Okay, whatever is being the one that's doing the dividing has to go on the bottom. The one being divided has to go on top. But in multiplication, the order doesn't matter. So I can write the A times B, I could write that as BA and B times A if I wanted to. Okay, but numbers should be written first and the variables are written in alphabetical order. We've gone over that, but again, another reminder, because for some reason some students are very slow in picking this stuff up and making sure they're doing it right from the start. Okay, so get that from the start, please. So A times 2 times B should be written as the number first and the letters in alphabetical order after. When dividing, any common factor in the numerator and denominator can be cancelled out. So for example, the 4 and the 2. Alright, so the highest common factor there of 4 and 2 is 2. So 2 divides into 2 once, 2 divides into 4 twice. A, there's no there, B can cancel out. Okay, so they're gone, don't worry about the little one. Alright, so you end up with here 2A on the top and 1C, and I'm happy for you to write the 1 at this point, so 1C sitting at the bottom. Alright, let's go through some examples. So write 4ABC without multiplication signs. You guys can do that. So what's it look like? Number first, letters in alphabetical order, 4ABC. That simple, okay? That simple, not hard. Okay. Simplify 4A times 2B times 3C, giving your final answer without the multiplication signs. Okay, so we're going to firstly remember, and I'm almost happy, I'd almost rather you guys write it out like this. So 4 times A times 2 times B times 3 times C. You don't have to do that, but I'd probably like that you did maybe. Okay, now we put our numbers together. So 4 times 2 times 3, and even cancel these guys out, not cancel them, but show that you've used them, and then I can do my times A times B and times C, times A times B times C. You've got them all. Okay, it's a good way to check them off to make sure you've got all of them. Now I can multiply my numbers out. 4 times 2, which is 8, 8 times 3, which is 8, 16, 24, and my letters, get rid of the multiplication signs, alphabetical order after it, 24 A, B, C. Okay, so a question like that, you multiply, bring all your numbers to the front, get all your letters in alphabetical order to the back, multiply your numbers out, put your letters in after it. Okay, in alphabetical order. Pretty simple, not hard. Alright, here. Write 3x plus 1 divided by 5 without a division sign. Okay, so we're writing this like a fraction. Okay, if I can do my O's right. So we're going to do that like a fraction. Okay, so we don't know what x is. We can't solve this. We've got no other information. We just need to write this in correct algebraic form. So on top, so the thing being divided, which is this one out in front, so that one out in front is our top part. Okay, you don't have to put the brackets in. You can if you want to. You're not wrong if you do. And divided by, so there's our vernaculum, our fraction part. That means divided by 5. And that's it. Okay, that's all you've got to do. Really, really simple. Okay, all right, what I want you to do here, okay, if you want to go back, you're going to do this on your own before I go through it. All right, if you need to go back to maybe this example for example, or this example for example, okay, go back and have a look, but I actually want you to have a crack at this one on your own. All right, so 8AB over 12B, oops, over 12B. I want you to pause this and I want you to try and simplify that down and get a final answer. Okay, so remember you're looking at the numbers, what's the highest common factor here, and can any letters be cancelled out? So again, please make sure you do this. It's so important you do this, so please do this. I beg you to please do this. Pause the video, have a crack on your own, go back if you need to have a look at the earlier explanations, come back and we'll check it. So please do it. Oh, please, 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 please. Okay, off you go. If you haven't done it, you better do it. Please go and do it. Stop the video and have a crack. All right, welcome back. And for those that actually did pause the video, you guys are a step ahead of the people that haven't. Okay. All right. So here, 8. I'm looking at my numbers first only. I'm not going to look at my letters at this point. I'm just looking at my numbers. Can I simplify those guys? I've got 8 and 12. I can find a highest common factor. What's the highest common factor of 8 and 12? Okay, well 8 does not go into 12, so I'll go a bit less. I'll go 4, and 4 goes into 12. So my highest common factor here is 4, so I'm going to divide my 8 by 4 and divide my 12 by 4, which gives me to 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So I know my numbers. I've got 2 on the top and 3 at the bottom. Okay, I've got an A, I've got a B, and down here I've got a B. So I've got a B and a B. So they are actually going to cancel each other out. So I've got, the only thing I've got at the bottom here is my 3, nothing else, and at the top I've got 2A. And that's my answer. Okay, really easy. If you can understand this cancelling out part, okay, I'm not going to get into detail about how that works, and you will, maybe I think year 8 or year 9, you'll probably touch on that a little bit in more detail to understand how that works. But at this point, all you've got to understand is if you've got dividing a B by a B, they just cancel each other out, all right? And you're left with this, 2A on the top and the 3 on the bottom. That's simple, okay? So that is multiplying and also dividing. Okay, and that's all you need to know for this one. Nice, quick, short video. Like I said, go back and have a look at anything you didn't quite understand. Come and see me if there is anything you didn't understand. Ask questions, and that'll get you started on exercise 5E. All right, good luck, guys. Bye-bye.